Hello everyone, I am Nancy Trivellato. I am one of the researchers and instructors with the IAC, International Academy of Consciousness, and I am here today actually just to share a little bit with you about the Congress that IAC is organizing and is going to take place in Miami in 2017, in May actually 2017, and the topics that are going to be presented are quite interesting, so I would like to just mention a few of them to you so you can consider being there or participating online. Of course, the proceedings are going to be published with papers of each of the presenters, both presenters that present as a talk, but also those that are going to present posters. We have received many submissions. Quite hard process, but I'm going to mention to you a little bit about the speakers that have been invited, and therefore they are already established. I do not know if you are familiar with Pim van Lommel. He's a very nice gentleman. He's from the Netherlands. He's one of the experts in the studies of near-death experience. He's going to fly from Netherlands to Miami, to United States. So it's very kind of him, especially to share his research with us, the results of his recent research with us. We are also going to have, from Europe too, Massimiliano Sassoli de Bianchi. Those of you who have been studying with IAC for some time, you know that he has published in the Journal of Consciousness with us few times. He is a quantum physicist and he's going to bring some new theories, new ideas. He's always brilliant in his presentation. He's a personal friend, but a very nice person. So he's going to be coming from Switzerland. He has a laboratory that is the Auto-Recherche Laboratory. It would be translated as a laboratory for self-research. So let's see what he has to share with us. We have a couple that works within the area of biology and psychology. That is Catherine Peel and Stuart Kaufman. Their curriculum speaks by itself or by themselves. Catherine is going to speak with us about emotional sense and the nature of consciousness. Actually, she addresses a little bit how consciousness would be, how emotion would somehow take place in the evolution of consciousness. So it's super interesting. She's a very kind person that gives the best of her attention to everyone, and it's brilliant scientist. Stuart Kaufman is her partner, is her husband, and he is a medical doctor and a theoretical biologist, and he's going to speak about complex systems and somehow mind problems in relation to neuroscience. Quite interesting. Another couple, actually, but they work together too. It's Beverly Rubeck and Harry Jabs. They both are from the Institute of Frontier Science from California, United States. They are going to be with us in Miami presenting super interesting studies. I have been in their laboratory. I know how they conduct their studies. It's very serious, and they try to develop equipment or ways of being able to detect and measure what could be called as bioenergy, subtle energy, biofield, different terms for the same thing. So very interesting, and they are going to present some of the results of their research. We also are going to have with us Jeffrey Martin. He is presently the director of the Transformative Lab at the Sophia University, also in California, United States. We have met him several times. We have been in his lab also with his team doing some joint research, or at least a pilot research. We're using EEG to detect some of these experiments or altered states of consciousness, but he's going to present some of his own research on non-symbolic consciousness. Very interesting, and I suggest you get to know him. You're going to find a lot of his papers on the internet. We are going to have also Federico Fagin. I guess I do not need to mention much about him. He's very known. He's especially known for his studies in the area of physics. He's the person who proposed the first microprocessor. So actually all of the technology we have, at least in terms of our laptops and even some of the technology that compose now our iPads and so forth, is because of him. He has received a huge number of scientific awards. And now he is dedicating to study consciousness and to see how we could develop maybe a completely new mathematical framework to incorporate consciousness. He's going to bring some of the latest in his work. I am super curious to know what he's going or he has to say to us, and he will bring there in the Congress. We are also going to have with us Wagner Allegretti. He's one of the researchers from the IAC, but he is using or studying ways of detecting also subtle energy. That is a very important work, because if we can detect this type of energy that somehow is responsible for phenomena of maybe telepathy, of maybe what people say sometimes of healing, or even phenomena of some different types of altered states of consciousness, if we can detect it, if we can somehow be able to measure it, we will understand a lot more about the consciousness and about all the different type of phenomena that people report, which not necessarily fit into what is known in terms of medicine nowadays. Anyway, Wagner's research deals a lot with functional MRI, but also different types of measuring that he did, also using magnetic resonance, and he will bring new results to us and new ideas. And finally, I left here for the last one, two people that is going to speak topics related with children. One of them is myself, but Jim Tucker is the other colleague that is going to be there. He's a medical doctor. I have great admiration for his work, because he's studying reports of children that say they have had some sort of experience in a previous life. So he conducts huge, serious investigation into that field, has published books and lots of articles about that. And I am very pleased that he's going to be with us, because I think this topic of what is it that sometimes people have, that they may recall events from a past life or someone who has already passed away. So this is a very important study. And I myself, I'm going to be there also discussing about children, but the focus I'm going to bring is completely different. I am going to study about children who may have some sort of perceptions, or how would I call it, psychic abilities or sensitivity that would sense subtle energies around them or people's energetic field. And therefore, they may experience things that not everyone experience, or not necessarily their parents experience. So sometimes they may be maybe more fearful in certain conditions, may have different behaviors, especially during the night or things like this, but they are not clear about what it is, and these events are many times not understood. So I am dedicating a lot, interviewing people from all over the world who have had this type of experience, but also children. I have spoken even with some child that is 5-year-old, for example, and I'm going to be bringing these results there. Anyway, I hope you can be with us there for the next ICC, International Congress on Consciousness. That is going to be from 19th to 21st of May 2017 in Miami. You can find a lot more in the events website. And we are going to note this in the description, and I hope to see you there. Thank you very much for your attention.